Hey everybody, welcome back. So, if you saw the quick post that I put up earlier today, my 60-second short, the quick update for the weight loss, the first video was 250 pounds. This morning I weighed in at 248.2, so I had kind of plateaued there a little bit in the middle, right after my first 90 days. Just being sedentary. I have a lot of projects at work, so I've been sitting a lot, and working until sometimes 7 o'clock at night. So I really didn't have my even the moderate exercise that I was getting, just the occasional walk or whatever. So I took advantage of the weather today. Today was the first day in New Jersey we had sun in like 12 days or something ridiculous. It got up to 48 degrees, which for February 3rd is amazing. So I posted that short clip. I went out, got in like a mile and a quarter, just a light walk, just to get the heart going a little bit and stretch the legs and just get some of that tightness out from being sedentary. Literally for like a week, it's been a tough go. So this is my reaction, really. That video has been up for a week. Came in at like 11,000 views, some ridiculous amount of subscribers, like 266 new subscribers or something like that. And it kind of just spoke to me that this community is even tighter than I really thought it was. I'm just a random dude who was sharing his 90-day experience. And the outshowing of support, and even comments to, like, other folks were commenting on people's comments, giving them advice and being a cheerleader. And it just made me like really like, listen, you threw your hat in the ring in a sense. I just wanted to post the video to, and even to show some of my family and friends what's been going on. And, some of my original subscribers, the channel's 4 years old. I started it because of the diecast car resurrections and things like that. And some of that community, maybe they're sticking around. Maybe they'll be here because I've been in contact with a lot of those folks. Some of them have actually posted their own videos on their health, some health issues and some things with their just general well-being and how life is going, especially during the pandemic. There was a lot of things going on. So maybe those subscribers are just hanging around. And again, this is not going to be a full-blown carnivore channel, but I think I need to now really keep up, with the journey, especially for those that are new, like me. And I really enjoy seeing comments from folks that have been doing it for a while and watching those channels and getting the information from people who have, been there. I might be approaching some bridges that I may need to cross. There might be some things that show up unexpected, plateaus, weight gains, especially if I start incorporating a little more exercise and seeing how that all goes. So I pulled out some comments that I really were awesome, and want to put a little input of my own. I've actually replied to some, I've typed back, but some of the comments that really kind of stood out to me, I felt I needed to do something in a video form. So this might be a little bit of a long form video. I'm a fan of the long form video, so most of my carnivore videos are probably going to fall into that 30-minute, 40-minute thing. So bear with me. You can always pause or you can skip. But I, again, greatly appreciate the outpouring of support for everybody, not just for me. And the thumbs up and the cheers and the likes and the comments and the subscribership. I mean, that was really, I didn't expect that. And I'm grateful. So let's start with some of these comments. Rick Bielski, 4754. Joe, very down to earth. Been carnivore for 7 months. 209 pounds, now 180. No inflammation, clear skin, but still have cravings for sugar. Kudos to your efforts. Everyday people. Yes. Rick, I'm happy that, you're 7 months in. It's like, looks like a 29 to a 30-pound weight loss. Inflammation, clear skin, but you're still having cravings for sugar. Brother, I'm going to tell you, those cravings are going to go away. I was not a sugar junkie. I was a foodie junkie. Processed food, breads, pasta. Granted, I ate sugar, but it was never, I never had sugar cravings. Like, I would run out. and stuff my face with chocolate or candy or cake, or if it was around, sure, I would eat it. But my cravings were always based on food, mostly processed food, chips, bread. Huge. You could stuff nuts and bolts in between rye bread, semolina bread, a hard roll. Didn't matter. I was in it for the bread. Didn't matter what was in between it. So those were the things that really put me in the state of having cravings and things. I was never happy. You start thinking back now, 90 days into this, and start thinking back like I was never really satisfied with, what I was eating. I mean, it gave you the dopamine rush because, listen, all that stuff's good. Bread is good. Pasta is good. Reese's Pieces are good. Reese's peanut butter cups are good. So the dopamine doesn't last. It's a temporary rush. And being, kind of conditioned to eat that way, celebratory meals in an Italian family was just like, hey, did you eat yet? It was just kind of a thing. And I was a foodie, really a food, connoisseur, if you will. The cravings will go away, man. Don't be patient. You didn't get to where you were by just having food and sugar cravings for 7 months. It probably took years. I know it took me years, right? So they're probably not going to go away in 7 months. You got to be patient, and it will happen for you. I promise you. So thank you for your comment. This one was a double. This one was a double hit. Rita Swenson, 1603. Enjoying your video and only halfway through. I'm getting my husband to watch it because you are a lot like him, but you sound nicer. As for your rotator cuff, look up Dr. Mindy Pell's on a 5-day water fast that she did to correct an injury that she had. Quite informative, and I think you can get great advice from her about it. Thanks for the video. And then she double dipped. She double posted. She must have forgotten this nugget of information and added, some more good news for you guys is your Mr. T increases greatly. So she's talking about testosterone. Proof from another carnivore video, getting his numbers done, and he did very well in that category. So I can speak to that a little bit. That was one of the things that intrigued me, was men were commenting that their testosterone levels went up. So when I had my blood panel in November, my doctor did tell me that my testosterone level was a little low. And he says, if you're, interested, make an appointment for next week, come back, and I'll give you an injection. And I assumed that he wanted to maybe start me on testosterone therapy. Now, knock on wood, the testosterone issue hasn't really been an issue. But I am the type of person who needs to investigate things, and especially if you're thinking about injecting me with anything. So I wanted to do some research on it. I'm not really concerned about it because I think now changing the way of eating, in a year's time when I have my next blood panel in October, if I don't see the testosterone number go up just a little bit, even just a little bit, then, maybe I need to work harder. Maybe I need to work out more. Maybe I need to lift heavy things and put them down, which is a distinct possibility for me now. The other thing about that blood panel, and this is something I've never heard any men talk about, men carnivores. PSA, my PSA level went to 0.8, and it's never gone above 1.8. So that's a good score, but now it's below 1. So that might be something for the male carnivores out there. If you're getting your blood panels, check your PSA. Check it now or your last blood panel and see, if you switch to carnivore or an elimination diet and you go for your next blood panel, see if that number came down. That could be something. But Rita, I hope your husband does watch it, the first video. And I am in an IT field in a support role. So when I'm trying to resolve issues for people, 1 and 1 always has to equal 2. So, and I think a lot of men are like that, just in I don't know, we could just have we have this analytical component, like with square footage and fitting things into spaces, and it has to be very logical and mathematical. And I think that's just by virtue of being a dude. That's the way we're brought up. For at least Gen Xers, we were raised by a different generation. They taught us certain things, and I'm that way. So maybe your husband now, seeing, if he does watch the video and see some other dude who's just a random guy whose 1 and 1 is starting to equal 2, and started putting this program together for himself and getting started and motivated to do it. And you would like to see him make a change, hopefully that works out. And you know what, if you see this video, comment back, let me know how things are going. So thank you for your comment. Nathan Smith 6914, I found you through the Carnivore thing and subscribed because we got to support each other, because this is the proper human diet and people need to hear about it. So good on you and carny on. Good day from Sydney, Australia. So the outreach and just the broad reach of that video, people are just finding it at random. They're finding it in hit searches, I guess, or recommendation, like it just shows up in your feed from Sydney. I'm in New Jersey. This person's halfway across the world, and cheering me on and others, and I think that's a great thing. So thank you for the subscribe, Nathan, and thank you for the comment. I hope you're doing well. Christopher K 348, wife and I started Carnivore February 2023. Within a week, 30 years of back pain was gone. Autoimmune problems for both of us improved tremendously. I've lost 60 pounds and have more energy than when I was a teenager. Simply unbelievable. Congratulations on your accomplishment. Well, Christopher K, congratulations on your accomplishment. And these are the types of comments I love to see, and testimony I like to see, like autoimmune problems are getting better. Back pain, 30 years of back pain, like gone, reversing, improved tremendously, losing weight, feeling more energy than when you were a teenager. Those are the things I really like to see. It's not all like, I didn't start this for weight loss. I started this for A1C. And some of my other issues that I started to notice, the issue with my rotator cuff and the inflammation, whatever itis I had in my left elbow and whatever itis I had in my left knee are gone. So those are the things that I really like to pay attention to, because then it really kind of, the 1 and 1 equals 2, right? So, Christopher, thank you for your comment. And I hope everything continues well for you and your wife, and the energy goes up and your autoimmune problems really disappear. John Mortimer, JBM Fitness 7753. John, that is one long handle. You should do audiobooks. You have a great speaking voice, also a great channel. So that's a cool comment, because it's not even carnivore related. This is just somebody who watched the video and says, hey, you got a great speaking voice, you should do audiobooks. And I think I'm like most of us. When we hear our voice played back to us, we kind of go, is that what I really sound like? But hey, you never know. Audiobooks or maybe voiceover work, a little side hustle, you never know. So, John, thank you for your comment. Di Morrissey, I started Carnivore on January 1st. Fellow Gen Xer at 52, and was just hoping to feel better and lose weight. The pandemic was not kind to me, and my mental health went into the toilet. And I gained a ton of weight. So far, I've lost 8 pounds, and my moods and outlook are vastly improved, as well as my energy. My sleep is great, and I have zero craving for sugar, processed food, or booze. I'm going to talk about that. Or booze, which was my pandemic coping device. I plan on eating this way for the foreseeable future, as I have another 25 pounds to shed, and I want to get back to running and riding my horse. God bless, and thank you for sharing your story. So, Di, congratulations on, your weight loss and feeling better, and your mental health getting better, energy getting better, and sleep. So the pandemic wasn't kind to pretty much all of us. And I'm still working from home. I've been home since March 17th of 2020, still working from home. No plans for my department to ever return to the office. And it was hard. You get up and go to a job, any job, whatever job I had for 30 years being, a working adult. And that gets taken away. It's a process. You wake up in the morning, you shower, you get on your clothes, you go, you stop and get coffee and a newspaper or whatever, a donut. You go to work, you're hanging out at the water cooler with your folks, you start your day, you're bouncing ideas off of everybody, you're in your little community, right? And then it's gone. It's taken away, and now you have to get used to working remotely. You have to set up, for me, setting up a desk in my living room, dual monitors, all my equipment for work. I had to make sure my dial-up, or not my dial-up, my internet connection is, So it's a little stressful, because sometimes your internet goes down once in a while. Knock on wood, I've had very limited issues with that. But, it's a stress factory. So things were tough. That first winter, I really had a hard time. So I can agree, especially with the pandemic, it really kind of just jacks up or jacks down. It punches down on your mental health. As far as cravings, my cravings are gone. I'm very fortunate. Again, I was a foodie, not a sugar. So I don't know. It might be different for those that have the sugar thing going on. My sleep, always, since I was probably approaching preteen. If you've ever seen movies where there's a kid with his blanket over, he's in bed, he's got a blanket, he's reading. He doesn't want his folks to know that he's still awake. I wasn't quite that kid, but I think it was because I felt I was missing out on something. Like the adults would be up watching Johnny Carson back in the day. For those of you who don't know, Johnny Carson was like today's Jimmy Kimmel and the other guys, whatever they are, whoever they are. So, I'd hear them in the living room laughing, and I'm like, well, how come I can't stay up? So that was kind of my thing. But the difference is, when I was a kid, when I fell asleep, I stayed asleep. As I got older, I still to this day, night owl. And as I was getting older and still eating the processed food, that diet, I'd fall asleep, but I'd wake up 2, 3, 4 times in the middle of the night. I had interrupted sleep patterns. After now being full 90 days carnivore, and even while I was keto, I was noticing a difference. I still have the problem of actually getting to sleep. But now, when I sleep straight through. I've had maybe a handful of evenings where I woke up maybe just to go to the bathroom and couldn't fall back to sleep because there's things going on here. You're just, life, right? You're always things on your brain. But it has improved greatly. Pretty much sometimes the way I fall asleep is the same position that I wake up in the next day. And when I get up, I stay up. I am awake. Previously, standard American diet, processed food. Sometimes I'd wake up on a Saturday and be like, oh, it's Saturday, I don't have to work. What's my plan for the day? And couldn't get motivated because I was just so drained, probably from the work week, combination of bad food. So I'd wake up, drag myself in the shower with all intentions of doing something, grab a cup of coffee, and then I'd sit on the couch and just, I can't even make up my mind. The brain fog. Couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do. And then sometimes, this is Saturday, and I'd be waking up going, I got the whole day, and then I'd end up napping for an hour after I just woke up. So that's been gone. That's a total. And the booze, I haven't had a drink since Labor Day. And I don't know why. Maybe it's subconscious, knowing that you probably shouldn't drink on this plant. It's not good, especially if you're trying to get to you're trying to get somewhere and get some results. Drinking is going to put a real bit. It's just, you might as well eat chocolate, right? You might as well eat pasta, because drinking is only going to, you're crashing and burning. You're putting a monkey wrench in your program. But even normally during the holidays, there's get-togethers, my neighbors and whatever. I had zero urge to have any alcohol, and I like to tip one back every now and then, especially in the summer after doing a hard day's yard work, feeling like you got something accomplished. Just sit on my deck and have a beer and soak up the sun, and just enjoy life. I don't know what's prepared for me come the summer, and maybe I won't. Maybe I will not. I still won't want to touch or drop, but that's a bridge that I'm going to have to cross. It's going to happen, so we'll see. So, Di, I hope everything is still going, well for you. I hope you get back on your horse and get back to running, and continued success to you. Lady Fritz 8R. The fact that you are no longer hangry, craving, preoccupied with food, or unsatisfied, but now are content, satiated, relaxed, and still enjoy it all tells one of the most important convincing aspects of the story of what you are meant to eat, or what we are meant to eat. Couldn't agree more. Again, at the beginning, I started keto because I wasn't convinced. Carnivore sounded a little far-fetched. Let me do some more research. Let me do an elimination. Let me do keto, and let me go down the path the way I need to. Again, 1 and 1 always has to equal 2, and sometimes you don't get to 2 right away. You need to do research. And I'm fully committed to it now. I subscribe to the fact that I'm still a caveman. Even at the primal levels of our brain, and definitely at a physiological level, I'm a meat eater. I think we're all meat eaters. And listen, the 1 and 1 equals 2 for me. My blood panels came back great. I lowered my A1C. My cholesterol is, normal. My PSA is down. And the other things, the elbowitis, the knee-itis, the inflammation in the shoulder. I'm even noticing some things with my skin, like usually in the winter time, like now it's winter here. If I'm out in the cold for very long, I used to get these rashes, like you get these little red irritations on your face, and it's probably due to shaving too, because a lot of men don't, we don't exfoliate and put creams on and things like that. But to this day, I still don't, and I've been out. I was out a lot today, in the cold, walked, a couple of flea markets, no issues. I used to get this dry, scaly thing on my forearms between my elbows and my wrist, and even in my hands, scaliness. And I do not use any moisturizer or anything. And I'm noticing that skin is getting a little more in those areas, and even around my eyes, it's getting a little more. I guess the word is supple, or it's just like it's kind of like re-expanding. It's getting rejuvenated. I still got some crow's feet. I'm 54, but these things are happening. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. So, yes, it's what we're meant to eat for sure. For me, I'm convinced, sold. I'm all in. So, Lady Fritz, thank you for the comment. Sasquatch Bioacoustic. Continuing to eat veggies will take you out of ketosis, which will cause you to plateau as you try to lose those next 60 pounds. I recommend cutting veggies until you hit your goal, then add them back to your diet as a reward for achieving your goal. You're right, and that's exactly what I had mentioned in the video. I'm going to go another 90 days, full-blown carnivore, no veggies, no fruit, nothing. I'm convinced that this is the way. I got the keys to the car that's going to drive me somewhere, so I have not had veggies. I talked about it, thinking about down the road, and I agree. There could be some, there's some truth in that statement. Maybe they will mess up with the ketosis levels and things, but I'm not concerned about it because I'm not eating them. Maybe I won't eat any until next year. Don't know. But right now, I'm off them. So thank you for your comment. Estreed 86. Canned salmon is also a great option. Form it into small patties or nuggets and fry them up in a pan. Well, in regards to swimmy fish, that is not one of the swimmy fish that I even like. Salmon is out the door. And as I've been going through this and really putting this plan together, going from keto into carnivore, even when I was on keto, and really noticing and paying attention to prepackaged foods and things in a box that are on a shelf with a shelf life, I'm getting to the point where anything in a can or in a box, I just don't want to eat it. If I pick up a box of anything and look on the back and there's more than 5 ingredients and I can't pronounce 4 of them, and if there's well more than 5 and can't pronounce any of them, well, it's probably not good for you. That's not to say that canned salmon, there's probably good brands of canned salmon, any kind of canned fish or meat, but I don't want any of it. I don't need to eat it. Fortunate enough to know that red meat is my go-to. I've always been a meat eater. Now it's just, now I'm really a meat eater. So anything, I'm very scrutinous now of anything in a box, in a can, prepackaged. And let's face it, if you're sticking to this plan, what else do you need? I think most of us getting to that point, we're realizing, well, like just now, if I look like I'm a little loopy and maybe even a little like drunk or stoned, it is 8:29 p.m. I was at my cousin's. I stayed, overstayed my visit. We were having a good time, and I realized I'm like, I gotta go home and cook. I don't want to eat at 9 p.m. And I ended up eating around 10 after 7. I finally got in my meal. 3 chuck steaks, fatty, and 4 over easy eggs, butter. So if I look, I'm ecstatic. Like I am in bliss mode right now. That's why if I look like I'm, under the influence, I am. I'm under the influence of being satiated. This is what it's like for me. And if you hear anything, my stomach is definitely talking to me right now because it's just like, oh, I can't believe I finally got to eat. It was probably, so I ate at 7. That's 28 hours that I went. Never felt hungry. never felt anxious and like, feed me. I wasn't hungry. I was having a good time, and it just dawned on me. It was like I could see like sunlight dissipating, and I'm like, ooh, it's time for me. Listen, I gotta go. I gotta go home and cook because I don't want to eat too late. So this is what happens to me. You know, I get this little pinkish color. I can feel my body is very warm because I'm digesting, and I just have that blissful feeling. And I still craved more meat, so I'm gonna have meat again tomorrow. It's just the way it's been working. So tomorrow is I'm gonna try and fine tune my recipe for cheeseburger meatloaf. So I allow myself some cheese once a week, and that's generally when I do it. It's been wintertime, so since probably the middle of football season, I've been making meatloaf every Sunday, and then maybe once during the week because it carries me. 3 pounds of meatloaf carries me. I think I mentioned that already. So the blissful look. I'm blissful. I'm extremely happy. I'm extremely happy about the video making. People making the attempt and making the effort to show that yes, we're all in this together. We need to be supportive of each other. And I really didn't think that it would take off in this manner. Over 11,000 views, and I think it's let's see. I'll give you the real rundown. So 11,740 views since it was published, 226 subscribers. 94% of the views have been by YouTube recommendations on YouTube Home or What's Up Next. Is 78%. So it made during the week I was getting hits on my email. My phone was buzzing. I'm working. I can't stop what I'm doing, right? So at the end of the day, I would check and see so and so subscribed, so and so left a comment, so and so subscribed. And I really didn't have the time. There were a few. I stopped and checked in and made a few replies because I don't want people to think that I'm just here and not paying attention to anyone, because that's the farthest thing from the truth. But I really wanted to spend more time. So I said, well, wait until the week is up, see where everything is and how many comments and things, and sift through them, which I did. And those were the ones I just spoke about, the comments that I just spoke about. And top traffic sources from browse features, 71%, suggested videos, 22%, other YouTube features, 1.9, director unknown, 1.6, YouTube search, 1.2. So the browse features are what's really leading people here, and maybe they're browsing for Carnivore. Obviously Carnivore is in the title, and they're like, hey, here's one I haven't seen yet, maybe something like that. And I've had this incredible turnout, and it's just I'm amazed and thankful, and I'm all in supporting everybody. I mentioned that it's not going to be a full-blown carnivore channel, and it's going to take up time now, because I'm still going to produce the regular videos I did, and I was producing them maybe once a week, once every 10 days or so, as I started getting back into this, because I had a dry spell for about 18 months where I didn't really produce much of anything. And now that life has shifted a little bit, things are easier. There's certain everybody's got their trials, tribulations, curveballs, just life. And I was like, I can start having some free time to make videos again, doing some of the DIY videos and some of the tool videos and reviews and resurrections and all that. So this will eat into that time. However, most of the time when I do get something edited, I use the feature on YouTube to post it for a future date. I don't post it the exact date. Like this one I'm going to post right now. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to do an edit and post it up there, because it's important to me that you see that I'm paying attention to you and being aware that you've viewed and that you've taken the time and consideration to compliment me, coach me, cheer for me, give me your testimony. So I think I could squeeze an extra video a week. I can post, one of each, and definitely continue to monitor my weight loss. That's what I'm on now, because the blood markers and all that, for me, are stable. They're where I want them, and I won't have another blood panel until October of this year of 2024. So the first video I stated I was 250. I actually plateaued. I was up a pound. I was down to 250. I was up a pound and a half, down to 250. So I changed some things up in the diet a little bit, and This morning, 248.2. So it's working. The upside is, if you flip the script a little bit, continuing to eat the way you're eating, even though you plateau, I didn't gain anything. I was up and down, up and down. So maybe there were some still more adjustments my body's going through. I mean, I'm only in 90 days, so I have to be patient. And I think I stated in the last video, obviously, the obvious is, if I do even a moderate amount of exercise, it's going to increase the weight loss. So I took upon it. I listened to myself in my head going, you said that. And today was a beautiful day. I went out for a walk. That's where I posted the quick shot before I was on my way. I got in the car. I made the 60-second clip. Hey, I'm going to talk to you guys later tonight. I'm going to post it. And I went for a walk. And then, my cousin called while I was on my way home. He's like, hey, you stop over. Well, okay. So then I was over there being busy and occupied. And then didn't realize what time it was and went, I need to go home and eat. Otherwise, I'm going to turn it into a complete fast, and I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for a 40-hour fast, or just not there yet. I might get there. That might be something that I just want to say, this might be fun. Let's see how it goes. Came home, ate. I got the stupid droopy look on my face because I'm blissfully happy that I ate. I ate my red meat and eggs, and I'm talking to you now. And I'm just blown away by the comments and everything. I'm blown away by the subscribership too, because I even stated in the video, not going to be full-blown carnivore. You don't have to subscribe. I'm not going to hold you accountable for anything. You want to subscribe, great. And I got 226 new subscribers. Now, whether or not all of them were strictly based from the carnivore, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Normally, if I picked up a subscriber a week, that may be a lot. So incredible engagement by everybody, and now it's clear. It's clear that since I've put myself out there, I think people want to see just the regular old average Jude, how this person is doing, monitoring themselves. Hey, maybe I have a slip up. There's plenty of us that have reported that, I went to a birthday party or holidays or whatever. Maybe I don't. But I think that's what people want to see. They want to see real, actual folks. And to be perfectly honest, most of the channels I subscribe to are just average folks. It's not movie stars. It's not, just the average, ordinary. I want to see how the world is doing. I want to see how people are doing. And especially folks that are talented and create things. And, in the carnivore community, that's what I like to watch. I watch more of that than I watch any other thing. I don't watch news. I don't watch regular television. I might catch a movie once in a while or something interesting, documentary-wise. But otherwise, I'm spending my time here. So if I'm spending my time here already, and there's an audience now, and there's people that are interested and want to see how I'm doing and continuing the path and what could possibly come up down the road, then I'm here to give back and support everybody. So, if you want to get in touch with me, I think you can go to my About page. I'm pretty sure my personal email is in there. You can send me messages and reach out that way, or comments. You need a coach, you need a sponsor, you need somebody to be a cheerleader who's not involved in your life. Sometimes it's easier. You just get a stranger's opinion, or just somebody who's experiencing the same thing, who has no real investment in you other than, listen, our paths have collided, our common interests have collided, and let's talk about it. Let's be real about it, and let's get down to business and support each other. So I'm amazed, I'm grateful, and I'm full of the outpouring of support, full, and I'm really full. I ate my dinner and I'm good. I'm ready to just kick back, have maybe a cup of decaf tea. It's Saturday night. Maybe I'll turn on a movie or something after I obviously edit this and post this. But it's been a great week. Can't believe it. So thank you all for your support, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and really giving me the cues that this is what I probably need to do. I need to be a part of this and help. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Again, can't give enough thanks. And I'll see you in the next video.